All right, y'all. Woo, I'm on my last fucking video. I'm on my last video. That's right. So, I just finished reviewing The Housewife and the Hustler, which was an ABC, I believe ABC News little mini documentary kind of on what's going on right now currently with Erica and Tom. Specifically, the the program was really more so heavily on Tom and what he did. Erica is just kind of like thrown in there just to like kind of talk about how much money that they actually had, obviously, while he was allegedly taking like victims' money, like people who actually needed it and stuff like that. So go back and watch my review. That's actually uploaded right now. So when it does, go ahead and check that out. Um, like I said, I think that do I think that Erica knew to the extent everything that was going on? Do I think that she knew that he was taking money from victims and giving it to her? No, I do not. Do I think that she knew that something was afoot? Yes. But that's just what I think. And this is all allegedly. But y'all go ahead and check that out. It's on Hulu. If y'all don't know, it's on Hulu. It should be on the main screen when you pull it up. But like I said, go ahead and watch that. So anyway, so we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode 5. So we start off with, how they be showing like flash forwards. So all of the girls is kind of talking about Erica and what's going on with her getting a divorce. So you see Erica, she's in a car, comes out, looks beautiful, which I feel bad like saying how good she looks, because this is money that's allegedly from like, not that she knows, but oh man, it definitely makes me look at everything sideways now. It really do. And after I watched that, I was looking at everybody sideways. I was like, Kyle, what did you do? What did you do? Huh, son? What did you do? It just had me looking at everybody funny. So anyway, so she comes in or whatever, and it shows like little bits and pieces of her being like, no, I didn't know. And I also want to say this because they touched on this in the documentary too. Like, I don't think Erica should have did this season. I kind of understand why she did, because if all of this plays out the way that it's supposed to, which is Tom going to end up being in jail or something like that and really not having any money, she needs to still be able to have an income. The same reason I feel like why Teresa let Bravo and them film her do all of this is because she still needed a check to come in. Like, regardless, she needed to make sure that she had a check. So I do feel legally it's probably not best for her to be on the show, because she's answering questions that can be used against her later on down the line. But I understand needing that security of like, well, bitch, that's a check I know that can't nobody around here say that I got from these other people. You know what I mean? So I guess I get it. So then we flash forward 3 days before. Cal is talking to her husband about the whole thing, and she said from a distance she's not surprised that they got a divorce. That makes sense, because in the little news special they talk about how there was rumors floating around Beverly Hills for a while that they was probably going to end up getting a divorce, because there was just a lot going on at the time. So we go over to Dorit. Dorit's getting ready. Of course, Dorit look good as hell. She's giving you Clueless, okay? What is her name? Alicia Silverstone vibes. That's what she's giving. So Kyle tells her husband about how her and Dorit got into it on the plane, because Dorit was talking to Crystal about something. And then Kyle jumped in and was like, yeah, but let me just say. And so then Dorit was like, Kyle, don't cut me off. Like, don't cut me off in the middle of me talking. Like, let me finish my sentence. Then they got into a whole back and forth about that, and Kyle's like, I don't like the way that she spoke to me, and and Dorit, and before Dorit said this, I have on my notes, Kyle, you always cut people off. And they end up showing later on, Kyle has a problem and an issue with not letting people finish their sentence. She is always cutting somebody off, and so I would be annoyed too. First of all, I was not talking to you, and second of all, don't in the middle of me saying something cut me off. Period. Don't cut me off. It's rude. But whatever. Kyle had an attitude about that. Okay. So then we, Crystal and Rob and everybody. Oh, I forgot, because that's what we're doing. Kyle is having an election party, so everybody's coming over to her house. So Crystal and Rob are on their way there, and Crystal's telling Rob how uncomfortable she is with Sutton and all of this other stuff. So everybody comes to the election party except Garcelle and Erica, okay? Lisa said she called Erica right after she got the text message, asked her if everything was okay. She said, she's just taking it a day at a time, pretty much. She was like, and then Lisa was like, I just don't understand, last year when we all sat down and talked, to Tom, she just swelled up with so much, joy and excitement and all this other stuff. And I want to say this, and they showed a little flashback, and even Garcelle brought up later, like, oh, she got real emotional talking about how much she cared about Tom. Like, y'all don't know what be going on. Like somebody said, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Like, just because there was one moment of a good hour that y'all seen them have a good time, y'all have no idea what was happening the other 50 million times. Erica talked about in the beginning of this season how it was really lonely for her to walk around that big ass house by herself. I'm pretty sure Erica is very lonely. All of that wonderful shit that she has, I'm pretty sure she's very much so lonely, okay? So, because I don't ever hear about Erica with nobody. Although I probably should. But anyway, so, Cal said that the only reason that she feels a way about this whole thing is she was like, if I was, going through something and, it was like before divorce, like I would tell my friends and stuff like that because I'm just close to them like that. Okay, well, that's you. We all know, like, Dorit ended up saying later that Erica is one of those girls who holds her cards to her chest. She's like very, very guarded. So, of course, Erica's not going to be the type to tell you what the hell's going on in her marriage. And a lot of y'all aren't even really her friends. So then we go outside to the guys or whatever, and Kyle's husband, what is his name? Marcio? Kyle's husband. He's out there talking to PK and Rob. Okay, and they're talking about what happened with Crystal, and Kyle's husband goes, I don't really see what's the big of a deal. Like, if I come and I just knock and I say, here's your jacket, why is that big of a deal? And then PK was like, well, I mean, you should knock. He was like, I'm not gonna knock. If we goes on a guy's trip, I'm not gonna knock on the door and then say, here, give you your trick. Here's your stuff. Like, that's just so weird. No, it's not weird. It's called respecting people's privacy. See, this is exactly... Nope, I'm not gonna do it because me and Kyle been good this season. She been irking me a little bit, but it's not enough for me to drag her the way I normally do. I'm not going to do it. This is why men need to stay out of women's business. Point blank, period, okay? So, whatever. Let's move on because I'm trying to be nice with Kyle. So, and I just want him to sit there, just be cute and shut up, okay? So, Crystal amongst the group talk about, how she was bulimic how she was bulimic at one point in time. She started at age 11. And, she just talked about her struggles with that. So that was, a way for the girls to get a little closer to her. So then Kyle says that she wants to go to talk to Dorit in the other room, okay? Kyle says that she doesn't like how Dorit screamed at her, okay? And don't talk to me like that if you want to be friends and I feel like I'm the only person. And Dorit brought up exactly what I said. Kyle, you're always interrupting me. And Bravo rolled that beautiful bean footage of them showing Kyle cutting her off, Kyle saying, fuck you, Dorit, all of that other stuff. And it gets annoying after a while, Kyle. You just can't keep cutting people off. And even in that conversation, you were cutting her off. And then gonna say, well, I was just trying to figure out where to get in. You was talking for 45 minutes. Girl, I don't care if I was giving the whole soliloquy and I was if I was reading the whole damn Declaration of Independence, not skipping no sections or nothing. Wait until I'm done. And especially if it's a conversation that you were not part of. If Crystal would have maybe interjected, cool. But you weren't even part of the conversation. And you always cut people off, Kyle. So do better. So at this point, Dorit is just over the whole conversation. She was like, you want to know what? I don't even got time for this. Because Kyle said something like, you don't talk to me like that. Girl, who are you talking to? So Dorit got her husband and she left. Okay? So they finish out the rest of the day, rest of the party. It's fine. So then Sutton and Garcelle meet up to go Bentley shopping. Okay, the Bentley that Sutton ended up picking was really, really nice. They just have, brief conversation about, Erica and that whole thing. And, Garcelle, she was like, I wanted to be left alone too, so I can understand. Now, Sutton, when she bought, Sutton said that this is the first car that she could buy on her own without having to ask for permission. I said, wow. She ain't the only one, but a lot of, I could not. Bitch, if I want the car, I want the car. It's just that simple. I don't got time to be going around asking nobody for shit. So then Crystal and Robbie go over to them and they're talking about how the party was. Rob said that he had a fun time, that Sutton didn't seem like a bad person to him. Rob is a name dropper because he was like to Sutton, yeah, I know you because you know such and such. And she said, oh yeah, because you act for him. He's a name dropper. But you want to know what, Rob? You did the Lion King. So you get a pass with just about not everything, but just about like the shady shit like that, funny stuff, pretentious stuff. You got the right. You made the Lion King. I don't really care. It's fine by me. So then she talks a little bit more about her bulimia and how she doesn't want that to like rub off on her kids or let some of the things that her kids say affect her. Then we have Kathy, Kyle, and Sutton together. This wasn't really nothing. They just talked about whether or not they should text Erica to see if Erica was coming. Sutton texted Erica to ask her if she was going to come to her dinner. She said that she was, okay? So Sutton has her little party. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, Paris or some shit like that. Kyle goes to Crystal's house first, okay? Now, I'm not going to lie. Kyle had me cracking the fuck up. When she came in, right? She's sitting there, she's talking to Crystal, and she's like, yeah. And she keeps looking over, and they keep showing the bag. And she's like, yeah, and because. Yeah, that's because. Whose bag is that? I was like, Cal had me weak. She was like, no. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted. Whose bag is this? $95,000 Hermes bag. Said, yes, ma'am. Okay. And not to throw Erica out there again, but I know Erica definitely probably has a couple Hermes bags. And all that lady wanted is her $100,000. You could have sold that one of your bags and gave it to her. Just saying. Anyway, allegedly. Dorit shows up, of course. Dorit looks cute, okay? Kyle and Lisa show up wearing the same dress. Lisa needs a whole new stylist because whoever styles Lisa, if she styles herself, she doesn't know how to. I think she looks really nice in her confessional. I think that's probably like with the slick back ponytail. I think that's probably one of the nicest that Lisa has looked. But whoever styles Lisa, they don't really know what they're doing. Because first of all, she's always wearing the same thing as somebody else. It's like the fourth time this has happened to her. But also, I feel like what she wears doesn't show her off in the best light. Like out of the two, Kyle looked the best to me in that dress. If we had to do who wore better, Kyle did, to me, in my opinion. Okay. So then, the girls talk about Erica. Of course, they're waiting for her to come and stuff. And Dorit, like I said earlier, of course, Erica didn't tell us anything at Lake Tahoe. She keeps things to herself. Garcelle gonna say, I love Garcelle. She was like, I mean, she married to him this long. Shouldn't she just wait? And everybody else so fucking dumb and is like, what do you mean she should wait? What do you mean she should wait? Now, some people probably thought that she meant she should wait, to see what happens with the lawsuits. But then everybody was like, oh, I get what you're saying, Mina. Waiting for him to kick the bucket. Girl, you waited this long, you might as well. Nah, he got too much deep shit going on. Go and watch that special and you see why she try and get out and get up and get out. The way Erica came into that house, she came and she said, I said, bitch, you better pose. You and all of those people's money, you better pose, girl. Better pose, okay? But I really hope that Erica is careful with what she says, how she says it, because she is in the middle of a legal situation. So I would hope and pray that she watches what she says. But we shall see next week what her excuse is. I won't say excuse, but what her reason it is. But I'm out, y'all. Bye.